Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mystic Hawk YouTube channel and welcome to your new moon in Libra collective ancestor reading. I'm sitting right here literally in the middle of my medicine wheel, actually right at the east gate facing the rising sun this morning. It's a beautiful day, it's not too hot right now. So we've been blessed with a little bit cooler weather, thank you, finally. And that really shows the change of seasons we've gone through. We just came through the equinox and there's some really big changes going on. One of the things we have to deal with when we're outside is you have to bear with me with the noise from the road and the birds. I live in a bird sanctuary. This is a very powerful energy spot that I live on, and the birds love it. They come here to reorient and to be able to fly in different directions, because this is a what they call a nexus point in the geomagnetic spectrum where the minor ley lines have come together. So very powerful energy coming through the screen for you guys right now, and blessings, many blessings from me and my ancestors to you. I know this is a really intense time and all of you can use all the energy you can get. Now I do have something very special in store, a whole new deck of cards, a whole new way of looking at things. This is the Wild and Unknown Alchemy by Kim Krans. It's the last of the Wild and Unknown series. These cards are going to be my leading cards. This is all oracle reading. I may throw some tarot at the end, we'll see, but this reading is so intense. And yes, I did pre-draw the cards, because with the oracle cards I really like to have time to meditate on them and get some downloads from them. But I do absolutely shuffle, just like I always do, and they just pop out the way they want to. So for you guys, what they wanted to tell us all, as I'm part of the collective as well, is we have the first card is Flos Sapientum. It's the red and white rose. Check that out. Now, I'm sorry I don't have two cameras at the time because I can only come outside with one at a time, but so that's the way it is, the red and white rose. And I'm going to read this because it's such a powerful information, and I'm still getting used to these cards as well. So I wanted you guys to hear her definition of it. Let's see if I can come to it right quick. One more. All right, there we go. So we have the red and white rose. And of course, I have to put my glasses on to be able to see this. It says, in the laboratory, the merging of red and white is an exquisite moment. It means something is coming to life before the alchemist's eyes. And in this book, the alchemist is you. You are the alchemist of your own life, the architect and alchemist of your own life. The pristine white of the rose is not threatened by the blood red pigment. Their mixing does not make pink. Rather, each color remains vibrantly itself, expressing its message. Like the rod of Sisyphus, representing health and vitality, the Flos Sapientum appears to signify the awakening. There's a cardinal right there singing red. That's the red energy singing right there. Appears to signify the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. So the awakening of our physical being to become a gateway to the spiritual, okay? Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual. That's why we incarnate, so we can take the concepts and put them into actual experience, okay? Yet they are not integrated into the everyday. So we're going to have to take these concepts and integrate them into our everyday life. All these downloads that we've been getting, it's time to put them into action. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day, observing it, listening to it, and mining it for information and guidance. So of course our bodies are our feminine, our intuition. You know, it can tell us, like, if we're consuming food that isn't good for us, it's low vibration, that maybe have too many chemicals, maybe it's time to stop eating meat or start eating meat, whatever it is for you. Listen to your body. Listen to your body when you're around other people, places, and situations? Does it make you feel tired? Does it make you feel energized? Or is it that happy medium? Because sometimes the happy medium actually is the goal, as opposed to the really highs, you know, because the really highs often go down to the really lows. So keeping that middle road is always the best. Remember, we're in the time of Libra, and I can speak for Libra because I'm both Libra and Libra rising. It's always best to keep that even keel as best as possible. I mean, there's always constant shifting. Believe me, we're never in balance. Libra strives to balance. That doesn't mean we're always balanced, okay? But trying to keep the scales more on the even keel, okay? So our bodies will let us know how to do that if there's extremes. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of the body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the like of dancers, athletes, and during the birth process. So this is definitely a rebirthing process. A lot of us are coming into our being and a new sense of self. Well, isn't that kind of scary, huh? Right? And so I also picked a Sacred Path card, and what did we have to go with the rose? I shit you not, I don't make this stuff up. It is the shaman's death. And this is the death and rebirth process. Literally, we are collectively going through this phoenix process as we're dying and being reborn, yet keeping the body at the same time. It's literally getting to live 2 different lifetimes, or maybe even 5 or 6 or 10, who knows? It depends on how many times you want to recreate yourself. And some of them are a lot of little bitty deaths and rebirths until you become this whole new person. Maybe it didn't happen all at once. It was too much for our bodies, for our psyche, for our emotional beings to be able to handle that much spiritual transformation at once. So there probably was a series of small ones, right? And we know what they call the little death. And for you, those of you that are kids, you know, I'm not even gonna tell you to look it up, but you probably will. So anyway, what we also have is, of course, I'm always going to want to be teaching about crystals and gemstones, because I do believe that Mother Earth has provided everything we need to be able to live on this planet. That's the whole point. That was what she was created for, to have everything we need right here. So we also have all the medicine, whether it be in plants or stones or otherwise, right here on Earth. Okay, so we have Angelite, and this represents angels and spirit guides. Okay, so your angels and spirit guides is also the upper world. And looky here, I actually have a piece of Angelite. It's not too easy to, you know, so it's like a light blue. This one's in the form of a little buffalo. It was carved. Very nice. Comes from South America, and this was sourced very well. I mean, this was sustainably sourced. Actually came right from the people that mined it and polished it. You know, the money went to their village. So I'm really glad to have this piece of Angelite. I feel it's very pure, and it does offer a lot of protection around us, extra protection. So if you want to get a piece, I wish I had some to sell, but I don't right now. But it does help us to communicate with our angels. And if we're having this higher level of ourselves, definitely we want some help from the higher end. There's no human on this earth that can help you with your spiritual process. Yeah, they may be able to assist you with some Reiki or some energy work, or maybe even a shamanic journey. But really, it's between you and your higher self and your spirit guide team, your ancestors, to help you to be reborn. Okay, so it's very vital to have a connection with them, and Angelite is a good stone to have when you want to meditate and have better contact with them. And so then we also go to the Ancestor cards, and this card, I was shuffling. This card popped up 3 times, so they're not kidding. There must be a lot of you out there that have had this book that you've been planning to write. Well, it is time to begin writing now, and they're not playing with any of us, because I too have a book that I've been wanting to write, many of them, for many years. But it is time now to begin writing. So if any of you have been thinking about writing and you've been waiting for an answer, the universe is saying, begin writing. If it's not writing, whatever kind of creative skill you have. And you still got to write to maybe even at least make a list or an outline or some kind of plan. So everything will need to be put in writing. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. If you're not planning to write a book, it is time to write out the business plan, or write out or sit down and write what you want during this full moon. How would you like to see your life? And one of the best ways we have of communicating with ourselves or getting communication from spirit guides is through journaling. So definitely, if nothing else, I do suggest you journal your process during this time. So we're coming back around to another. I picked 3 of everything because I was feeling that it's very powerful, changing times, that Trinity energy. So they wanted me to bring that in. So the next Wild and Unknown Alchemy card we have is Calcification. Look at this red. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to show all the cards that I got. First we have the red and white rose, and then we have the red fiery energy of calcification. And then the third card we have is Lucocious, which is lightning. Red and white. We have red and white going on. What does red and white symbolize? Well, red is, of course, the root chakra, the passion, right? You know, that's where we express our passion most of the time. It's also where we feel stable and grounded into earth. It's the passion of being a human being. Whereas the white is the purity of spirit. Okay, so the purity of the spiritual energy coming down into this passionate human body, you know, that we're always kind of, you know, wrestling with our passions so that they don't get out of hand. But we don't want to kill the passion. Why? Because we need that fire. The fire of creativity, the fire of passion, the fire of sexuality, because our human race would not continue without it. See, we got woo-woo going in the background. Woo! That's where all the power and excitement and you know, fire, it can destroy or it can create. That's one of the things the siren just reminded me of. So let's read Calcification and see what Calcification has to tell us. Messages from the ancestors. Wow, I mean, I tell you what, these are some powerful cards. And if any of you that are, you know, more advanced into the tarot or want some different oracle card that you haven't played with before, oh, I got something special after I read this one. Speaking of different oracle cards, just hold on there. We got something coming, something you've never seen before, and I can guarantee it. But let me read this first. I regress. Calcification. Let's see, or digress instead of regress. Let's see. I'm having to learn to read these Roman numerals, but I'm getting better at it. There it is. So calcification, it is about the fiery energy. It's heat, fire, desire. What do you want? What do you desire? What has been repressed in you that you haven't let out? It's time to get out that journal and write it down. Tell yourself, if you don't want to tell anybody else in the world, you need to tell yourself what you want. Because I'm telling you, this is the time during this Libra new moon when it conjuncts up with Jupiter, even though it's retrograde. Excuse me. This is where we can have our desires delivered to us so long as we're living in our purpose, okay? Calcification is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there's enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature that which is solid and fixed, okay? How does Calcification begin? With a tiny glimmer, a spark, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame. On the psychic level, this stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed, okay? So look out for emotions that have been repressed or dismissed. They will certainly surface during these times. It wants something big to change. It to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology an institution or outlook, a belief system, a mindset that needs to be brought up and cleared. So if you've been feeling a lot of shadow work coming up during these times, especially, you know, new moons, new beginnings, clean slate, we got to clean out the old stuff. That shaman is death, the death and rebirth, the purification process, definitely going through that. And says the transformation that occurs from calcium is rarely harmonious. So hey, it's going to be uncomfortable, people. It already is. Don't expect it to lighten up anytime soon. We're just going to have to find balance within the discomfort. You know, chaos. I mean, let me tell you something. Be a Libra. Everybody thinks, oh, Libra's so nice. No. We bring order out of chaos. When we walk into a situation, our Libra energy, not all Libras, but Libra energy walks into a situation, it wants to balance out a field of chaos. And this is a perfect time for me to bring in something you've never seen. And these are conceptual cards. So I haven't finished the artwork. I'm really kind of questioning myself for showing them, but Spirit asked me to do it. Why create something if I'm not going to share it, right? So we have the quantum field, okay? Out there in the quantum field where all things are possible. All right, we'll get back to that one in a minute because I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, Spirit. So things are not harmonious. You know, out in the quantum field where everything is changing, when we have all this chaos, it needs to be brought to order, right? Chaos is uncomfortable. Order is comfortable, but order can never stay because chaos has to come in because that's the law of chaos, right? Some of you followed that, some of you didn't. But that's okay, it doesn't matter. It's just that the discomfort, because the old patterns have to fall to ashes. The flame that initiated this sacred change, it eventually becomes the phoenix. And here we come right back around to the shaman's death, which is also representing the phoenix. So we are going through this death, rebirth, burning out this old stuff and to release it and to moving on with the situation. The next card we have in the Crystal Medicine Oracle is how do we deal with this energy is by moving forward. And we also have the council fire coming here. It's time to make a decision within your inner council. That's you and your spirit guides, your higher self, your future self, your spirit guide. Your counsel, not my counsel, not the person sitting next to you's counsel, your inner counsel. They're the ones you need to listen to. I give you insights and sparks of information. You take it and you apply it to your life as it applies. If it doesn't resonate, doesn't apply, leave it. This isn't your reading, okay? But if it is resonating, it's time for you and your counsel to make a decision to move forward. And this is Seraphonite, like the angel. Seraphonite is actually a green and black, kind of marbly rock. And it comes from Russia, by the way. Very interesting. It's a rock from Russia. And it also helps us to communicate with our angels. But it is also staying in contact. We really need to keep that constant communication with our spirit guides, our higher self, and our future self. I will talk to you more about that. Oh boy, will I. About moving forward, how to move forward in a situation, because we don't have a map for this. There is no map. We are the pioneers. We are the ones out there with the spiritual machetes beating this jungle back and creating a path for others to follow. Those of you that watch my channel, that's what you do. So the next one we have, oh yeah, oops, I forgot. And then the Ancestor cards have, very interesting as we're doing this death rebirth process. Here comes Miss Isis. Oh yeah, there she is. And of course she was very much involved in resurrecting Osiris. So very much interested into that. The Egyptians did believe very much in reincarnation and resurrection and practiced it often. This is prayers, offering, and help. It says honor the deities around you. This could just be your ancestors. It could be, you know, Mother Mary, God, Goddess, all that is. I really feel a feminine deity for a lot of you. It could be actually Isis herself. If not, it would be one of the other representations of the divine feminine energy. Honor this divine, the deities around you. Honor your ancestors to say thank you. Don't forget to say thank you to God, Goddess, all that is. You know, whoever you call it, great spirit, great mystery, the creator. So it's time to honor those that help us in the higher realms. Say thank you. Next, we have leucosis, lightning. And look, it's white, blank slate with just this little snake wrapped around here. So let's see what it says. This is the number 13, which is also in the tarot card, death. So the old life is gone. Let me say that again. The life as you've known it is gone. There's no going back. There's nothing to go back to. The last 2.5 years of our lives have made sure that wasn't it. As a matter of fact, back in September 2019, I was really rolling with my tarot channel. I was getting it going, but I wasn't the person that I needed to be in order to really come here and to offer true value and true help. Yes, I was a good reader back then. Now I'm an awesome reader because I have learned, I have went out and done the work on myself, for myself first, okay? So that was one of the things, and one of the things I was talking about then was the timelines. Back in, it was September of 2019, and I said the timelines, right now we're making decisions, and it won't seem like it's that much different than everybody else. But as time goes on, we find ourselves farther and farther apart from our old reality. 3 years later, if you're trying to straddle those two realities, you're about to be split in half. You're going to have to choose one side or the other. There's no more riding the fence. You're literally going to be ripped in half, okay? Or most likely pulled to the lower energies, back into the crabs are going to reach up and pull you back in the barrel. Either way, it doesn't sound like very much fun. Why not? And I'm hearing Spirit say this to me as well as everybody else. Just pick the higher road. Just pick that road that we all intended to travel in 2019 before any of this shit went down. We knew something was coming, knew it was time to pick the new timeline. Time to continue on. Went from the red timeline to the white timeline, which actually they call, to me, the golden stream timeline, because there's something, especially look at the gold energy there with Isis. It's Egyptians and gold. There is something to the golden stream, okay? So going from the unstable, dangerous red timeline to the stable and sustainable golden timeline, because it's sustained by Spirit, okay? All right, so now we're moving on. Let's read about leucosis, lightning. Oh, wow, man, I just got chills. Like lightning just ran through me. Wow, all righty then. I love it when this happens. It says this is perfectionism, the facade, hesitation. I don't know, it's not right time, it's not all perfect. I don't know if I want to launch this new video class course, whatever. Oh, Spirit's just about to push you off the cliff and say jump in or get left behind. Jump or get left behind. Let me say that one more time. Jump or get left behind. The stage of leucosis is a complex topic in alchemy. On one hand, it represents purification of the materials, just like the purification we've been talking about. On the other hand, it is the phase at which the alchemist may mistake the work is complete. Well, I've done my work. I've done all my shadow work. I'm done, you know. Says Spirit, right? On the surface, everything seems perfect, pristine, well thought through, and quite complete. In actuality, the alchemist has been tricked by their own facade of perfection. Okay? It's got to be, but that's the trickster within you. It's the ego that wants perfection. What does the ego say? Don't love, don't trust, be perfect. That is the sick ego that we have been programmed with, we have been implanted with by being on this earth plane right now, that teaches us don't love, don't trust, be perfect. That is not who you want to listen to. That one's going to take you back to the old reality and go hang out with the crabs in the barrel. And you're going to really live a life of regret. Me, that could be me too with the decisions I make, not just you guys. We could end up living a life of regret. Says, their work has hardly even begun. Righteousness and fear are the great errors of leucosis, righteousness and fear. Feeling like you know everything or you're too afraid to even start. Okay? This card arrives to remind us to get our hands dirty. No one is separate from or above anyone else. Rather, every alchemist is a kid in the laboratory, tinkering away with the elements of their life. No more fretting over the next move, fearing how others will perceive you. It's time to crack open and become who you are. The world needs your true colors. And guess what? Today, people, I rarely wear, well, I've been wearing red a lot more lately, but I'm wearing red this time. True colors, because I'm ready to set fire, have that passion, ready to get out there and preach the way I do. Not just in the lineage of all the preachers in my family, but preaching the way I do. Okay? Yes! Woo! I love it when spirit runs through me. Yes, and Leslie, the next card we have is, I ain't making this shit up, people. When I pulled a crystal card for this one, we got challenge, lightning again, thunder beings, hello. And it says, and this is fulgurite. Now fulgurite, check it out, see if you can see that. Fulgurite is really interesting because it is created, it's this like glass, is a hollow tube, glass-like substance that is created when lightning strikes sand. And the heat of the lightning literally vaporizes, that's why it's hollow, vaporizes the sand in the middle and creates this glass straw. Oh, there's the rabbit. There's a rabbit right there, like 20 feet from me, a wild rabbit. So cool. Anyway, so this fulgurite and a squirrel just came up and chased the rabbit. That is so wild. Anyway, they play. So anyway, this is really a great substance to have to help you get through a challenge. But I really love it because it's so interesting. So it creates this lightning straw. So it's like petrified lightning. So definitely look it up. It will help you with the challenge. Something's telling me I want to look this up. Number 5, okay? Real quick. Every time those animals, they are part of the reading. So rabbit does represent fear, and squirrel represents gathering, and that's really interesting. Squirrel prepares for the winter that's coming, because we literally, if you're in the northern, excuse me, northern hemisphere, winter is coming, but there's also a winter time coming in the heat, in this cycle of human cycle. The squirrel says to be able to overcome the fear, which is what rabbit represents, the fear, calling our fears to us. Oh my God, life is going to be terrible. Every time I watch the news, it's just no hope for us. Well, the squirrel says, no, I'm going to listen to spirit and follow spirit and gather. I'm going to conquer my fear by being prepared, okay? Conquer your fear by being prepared. And that's how you read the world. Spirit's always talking to us. Says you would call this card because you're currently going through a challenge. Many people mistakenly view a challenge as being a negative experience. However, challenges provide enormous opportunities for personal growth and change. Challenges highlight the boundaries of opportunity, the places where you can pinpoint the lessons and learn from them. If you don't have challenges in your life, you're not growing. Again, you're in your comfort zone. You're not growing. You're not going anywhere. Most likely, we think we're on a plateau and we can stay in the same place, but no. You either are moving forward or you're going backwards. You can kind of hover in the same place for a little bit. Spirit won't let you very long. Have you been feeling challenged by a person or a situation? Does the same challenge keep coming up for you? Like the same kind of person or the same kind of situation, the same kind of job? Have you been looking at the challenge in a negative light? That's part of your problem right there. If you see it as a negative thing, what you resist will persist. You thank that problem, you thank that challenge, you thank it for what it has to teach you, even if it's a failure. Can't tell you how many times I tried to get off and on the Mystic Card. I'm not going to give up. Even if I have to move this platform, move what I teach to a whole different platform. I don't care. I'm going to do my work. Okay? So, and I don't see it as negativity. I have learned so much about the technology, about myself, about my ancestors. It's just invaluable information, just as you have. Every time you try something, you don't quite get it right, and you have to go back to the drawing board, you know 10 times more than you did when you started. So it's never a bad thing to fail. What is this challenge showing me? How do I do things differently? Is it time to embrace the energy of challenge in your life and know that if you don't get the lesson now, it's going to come back bigger for you. Okay, I don't want to read the whole thing. I want to keep the flow going. So it's time to face whatever challenges, these things that keep coming up over and over again. They're being come up to cleared, so we can go through that shamanic death, so we can have this pure slate, so we can come here to be and do what we came here to be and do. And look at here, we got some peyote ceremony, little plant medicine going on. Some of you may actually be doing plant medicine, whether it be Aya, mushrooms, peyote itself. That's Mescalito, by the way, Senora Mescalito. He's a very powerful teacher. I would say only if you're really ready to be a warrior, because he likes to train warriors in particular, Mescalito. And even you don't even have to actually take the plant medicine. You can just meditate on it. He'll come and talk to you. Just like me, I've got Pluto and Uranus in the 12th house. I don't often have to even do plant medicines. My life is like living with a constant little microdose, because my being in the 12th house, Pluto and Uranus, they open me up to different worlds, like these plant medicine does for most people. I just kind of already automatically live there. But there you go. The Mescalito may have a message for you. If not, this is a new abilities coming online. As you were clearing all of this old crap, letting go of this old situation, having the courage to get out there and do what you came here to do. With this blank slate is a blank piece of paper, especially when we're getting ready to write something. That is the most daunting, scariest time. It's not the moment the first word is put on the paper. You hear the baseball field down below. There's, yeah! That's my peanut gallery cheering me on as I write the first words on that blank sheet of paper. Just write something. That's what they're saying. It don't gotta be perfect. Matter of fact, perfection is gonna kill you. We just talked about that. We don't want perfection. Perfection is the killer of the dream. Just get started. Just start. It will flow. This is your challenge right here. Start writing something on that blank slate, people. If you need a little help, pulling these new abilities. You've got so many new abilities coming forward just as you get started. And the last thing they want to talk to you about is probably about where they started before. It's taking good care of your physical body. What foods are you eating? Are you in balance? How are you feeling? Do you need more fruits and vegetables in your life? Do you need to eat, more living live energy? Especially, I'm feeling a lot of us do. I've actually been called to do some juicing because I've been eating like crap too. Being lazy and not eating as healthy as I could. But I do have one of those ancient champion juicers, and fit a few carrots, fit a few apples, a little bit of ginger in there, and some celery if it's still any good. Hey, that's a good juice. It'll keep me going for a little while, and it feels good. The ginger is really good at anti-inflammatory as well. So is turmeric. If some of you are having inflammatory issues, if you're dealing with autoimmune issues that deal with inflammation, definitely taking in more turmeric and these kind of anti-inflammatory things will help you. So, wow. Okay, now I'm gonna get back to my cards. So I saved it for last, right? You thought I was. Those of you that hung in there and watched the whole reading, you get the special treat. So I did talk about the quantum field, where, you know, the Libra new moon energy is going to come in and balance chaos and order. But here's the other two things that they had me bring to you. We have the inorganic mind and the organic mind. These concepts came from my study with the Carlos Castaneda work. So if you want to read more on the inorganic or the organic mind, I forgot which book it was. I know the Eagle's Dream has it. Maybe even the Journey to Islam. But all of the Carlos Castaneda books about the stories of Don Juan talk about the inorganic and organic mind. Of course, we're experiencing the inorganic mind. I call this the metaverse, getting caught up in all of this alien shit, okay? For lack of a better word. And the organic mind is those of us that are earth beings, that are nature spirits. This is how spirit really talks to us. This is who we are in our truest form, is the organic mind, the spirit in coming into form. And this is the organic mind. And you notice all the angles and the multiple masks that person has on. I know I have strange art, but this is how I see it. And we have all these angles going on. And usually when there's angles instead of all these nice curved surfaces, this is some kind of inorganic mind creating a construct reality, basically the matrix. Okay, people, this is the real world where spirit lives. This is the matrix. Okay, so within the quantum field, we can make either choice, but what they're really asking us to do is to make the choice of the organic mind. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, watching. Please leave any comments below. I'd love to hear from you, what kind of process that you're going through. Tell me what you need to launch. What are you going to do? You got a book you're going to write? You got a YouTube channel you're going to start? What is it? I'd love to know. And also, if you'd like a personal reading, they are available on my website. And I do have crystals for sale available. Dow crystals. I'm going to make a little special on that. So I have a lot of Dow crystals for those of you. It's similar to Angelite that really need to communicate with your spirit guides. You want more of a connection with that? Check out my Dow crystals on MysticHawkCrystals. All right, thank you and blessings to all of you. Bye-bye now and have a wonderful Libra new moon.